Have you ever wondered why some people rise above every setback while others crumble the moment pressure appears? Why some keep pushing again and again, no matter how many times they fall, while others quit at the very first sign of struggle? The answer is simple: mental strength. It's not loud, it's not visible, but it is the invisible force that separates those who make it from those who give up. And here's the truth: it's not something you're born with, it's something you build. Most people don't understand that. They believe mental strength is a gift, that only a chosen few possess it, that it's something you either have or don't. But that's a lie. The strongest minds you know weren't born with it. They weren't handed it. They didn't wake up one day with it. They trained for it. They built it. They earned it day by day, challenge by challenge, choice by choice. And if you stay with me till the very end of this message, you'll learn exactly how to build that kind of strength. A mind that doesn't shake when life gets hard. A mind that doesn't fold when fear shows up. A mind that makes you unbreakable. But first, you need to hear the hard truth. The reason most people remain weak isn't because they're not strong enough. It's because they refuse to train for it. They think the mind should just work perfectly on its own, but it doesn't. Just like your body needs resistance to grow, your mind needs it too. But instead of facing resistance, instead of leaning into challenges, most people run. They run from struggle. They avoid discomfort. They seek the easy path. And every time they do, they rob themselves. They steal away the very thing that could have made them stronger. Weakness is not permanent, but it is a choice. Every time you back down from fear, you choose weakness. Every time you let doubt decide for you, you choose weakness. Every time you hide behind excuses instead of taking action, you choose weakness. But here's the good news. Just like weakness is a choice, so is strength. And the moment you decide to stop running, the moment you decide to take control, the moment you stop waiting to be saved and start choosing power instead, everything begins to change. Because strength isn't a mystery. It isn't magic. It's a mindset. And that mindset begins the moment you say, I'm done choosing weakness. I'm done making excuses. I'm ready to build something that can't be broken. Your mind, it's the most powerful tool you'll ever have. It can push you or it can paralyze you. It can lift you or it can lock you in a prison of your own fear. It can make you or it can break you. And that's the problem. Most people never learn to take control of it. They never understand the war happening inside their own head. They never realize the mind is a battlefield, and they're losing the fight before it even begins. They let fear speak louder than courage. They let doubt take the driver's seat. They let every what if, every maybe not, every I can't decide the direction of their lives. They live ruled by thoughts that don't serve them. They obey emotions that don't empower them, and they don't even know it. But let me tell you something. Mentally strong people, they see the battlefield. They recognize the danger. They know exactly what's at stake, and they absolutely refuse to let their own mind become their enemy. Because they've learned a truth most never do. Your thoughts are not facts. Your fear is not a prophecy. Your doubts are not your destiny. You get to decide which voice you believe. You get to decide who's in control, your fear or your focus. So ask yourself, how many times have you talked yourself out of doing something great? How many times have you let your own mind convince you that you weren't enough? How many dreams have you buried because you believed the wrong voice? The voice that said, "Who do you think you are? You're not ready. You'll fail anyway." That voice is not your friend. That voice is not your truth. It's the enemy within. And until you take the fight seriously, until you stop surrendering to every whisper of fear, you'll never know how powerful you truly are. Because here's what mentally strong people know. The mind will test you. The mind will challenge you, but the mind can be trained. And once you learn to train it, once you learn to guide it, command it, direct it, it becomes your greatest weapon. It becomes your edge, your armor, your fire. And no fear, no doubt, no failure can stop you when your own mind stands with you, not against you. So let's get one thing straight. Mental strength doesn't start with the body. It doesn't begin in your muscles. It begins in your decisions, in your mind. The decision to stop waiting, the decision to stop hesitating, the decision to stop telling yourself, "I'll do it when I'm ready." Because you won't. You'll never feel fully ready. You'll never feel totally confident. You'll never feel completely certain. And that's the trap. Most people delay their lives, waiting for some perfect moment that never arrives. They think they need more time, more clarity, more motivation. But the truth is, that moment won't come. That feeling won't magically appear. That confidence won't show up until you do. You have to move before you feel prepared. You have to act before you feel strong. You have to leap before you see the net. That's what the mentally strong understand. They don't wait. They move. Even when fear is screaming, even when doubt is whispering, even when discomfort surrounds them, they move anyway. And in doing so, they prove to themselves over and over again that they are stronger than their fear, stronger than their excuses, stronger than their hesitation. Because action is what builds strength, not waiting, not wishing, not hoping. It's the doing that transforms you. So here's the moment. Right now, this is your choice. You can keep living the same way, letting your mind control you, letting fear dictate your path, letting excuses make your decisions, or you can make a different choice, a better choice. You can decide to act, even if your hands shake, even if your heart races, even if everything inside you says, wait. Because strength is built in that exact moment. The moment you move anyway, the moment you push forward, even with the doubt, even with the fear, even with the uncertainty, that's when you begin to change. That's when you begin to rise. That's when you begin to become unbreakable. Most people run from pain. They avoid it, resist it, hide from it. They treat struggle like punishment, like something to be escaped, something to be feared. But that mindset, that belief, is exactly what keeps them weak. Because here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. Look at anyone who has ever done something great. Anyone who has ever overcome. Anyone who has risen. They didn't get there by avoiding struggle. They didn't get there by hiding from pain. They got there by walking through it. Pain shaped them. Failure shaped them. Rejection shaped them. And instead of breaking under pressure, they used it. They used it to build, to grow, to evolve. Every setback became fuel. Every hardship became a lesson. Every challenge became a turning point because they understood something most people don't. Pain is the price of strength. You don't grow when life is easy. You grow when life pushes you. You grow when pressure is applied. You grow when nothing makes sense, but you keep going anyway. Pressure creates diamonds. Resistance builds muscle. Fire strengthens steel. And your mind, it's no different. It needs pressure. It needs struggle. It needs difficulty. But instead of embracing it, most people avoid it. They want safety. They want comfort. They want an easy life. But comfort doesn't build strength. Safety doesn't build courage. Ease doesn't build resilience. And that's why they stay the same. That's why they stay soft. That's why they stay stuck. Because growth and comfort cannot exist in the same place. If you always choose what's easy, you're also choosing to stay weak. Mental strength is not born in silence. It is forged in fire. It is built by facing the storm, not running from it. The people who become unstoppable, they're not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who turn pain into power. So when life hits you, when the road gets hard, when you feel like giving up, remember this. Every struggle is an opportunity. Every moment of pain is a test. Will you let it break you, or will you let it build you? Because in the end, strength is not given. It is earned through suffering, through endurance, through refusing to quit. Pain is not the enemy. It is the path to greatness. Your emotions, they're powerful, they're loud, they can shake you, they can move you, they can twist your thinking and cloud your judgment, but they do not control you. You do. That's what most people never learn. They think feelings are commands. They think fear means stop. They think doubt means don't. They think tired means quit. And so they obey. They act only when they feel like it. They move only when they're motivated. They stop every time it gets hard. And that's why they never change. That's why they never grow. That's why they never win. Because emotions are unpredictable. They rise, they fall, they shift like the wind. And if you let them run your life, you'll always be at their mercy. But mentally strong people, they live differently. They understand one thing that changes everything. Feelings are temporary. Decisions are permanent. They don't wait to feel like it. They act anyway. They don't let emotion lead them. They lead emotion. They choose discipline over impulse, commitment over mood, responsibility over reaction. Think about it. If you only worked when you felt motivated, how often would you actually show up? If you only trained, only studied, only fought? When it felt easy, how far would you really go? This is where strength is built. In the moment your mind says, stop, but you keep going. In the moment fear says, turn back, but you move forward. In the moment doubt says, you can't, but you prove it wrong. That's the line. That's the test. That's the difference. Weak minds follow emotions. Strong minds lead them. Weak minds say, I don't feel like it. Strong minds say, I do it anyway. So ask yourself, are you in control of your emotions, or are your emotions in control of you? Because the moment you stop obeying them, the moment you stop living by how you feel, you unlock a level of power most people never touch. And that is the moment you become unstoppable. If you want to become mentally strong, there is one skill you must master above all else: self-discipline. Without it, you will always be a prisoner to your feelings, a prisoner to your habits, a prisoner to your excuses. But with it, with self-discipline, you can force yourself to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That's what most people never understand. They rely on motivation. They wait to feel inspired. They wait for the perfect moment to act. But here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable. It's fleeting. It comes and goes. Some days you have it. Most days you don't. And if you only move when you're motivated, you will never be consistent. And without consistency, success is impossible. Self-discipline is different. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're afraid. It doesn't care if you'd rather quit. It pushes forward anyway, because mentally strong people understand one thing. Results don't come from feelings. They come from action. Discipline is waking up early. When your mind says, sleep in, discipline is hitting the gym. When your body says, stay home, discipline is working on your goals. When every part of you screams, give up, it's not easy. It never will be. But that's the point. If discipline were easy, everyone would be successful. Everyone would be strong. Everyone would follow through, but they don't. Because discipline is the dividing line. The line between those who succeed and those who settle. So here's the real question. Can you force yourself to take action when it's the last thing you want to do? Because that is what separates the mentally strong from the mentally weak. The weak listen to their excuses. The strong silence them. The weak wait for motivation. The strong create it through action. And here's the secret. The more you train discipline, the less you need motivation. It becomes automatic. It becomes instinct. It becomes who you are. And once that happens, not fear, not doubt, not failure can stop you. Because now, you're no longer led by feeling. You're led by commitment. You're led by clarity. You're led by something deeper than emotion. You're led by discipline, confidence. It's not something you're born with. It's not something someone gives you. And it's definitely not something you wait for. It's something you build, something you earn, something you create through action. But most people, they don't know that. They think confidence comes from approval, from other people, from likes, from praise, from being told you're good enough. But that's a lie. Because true confidence, the kind that doesn't break when life gets hard, it doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. It's not about being loud. It's not about pretending to be fearless. It's not about acting like you have it all together. It's about trust. Trusting yourself, trusting your ability to handle whatever comes, no matter what, no matter who leaves, no matter who doubts you, no matter what goes wrong. That kind of confidence is rare, but it's not out of reach. So how do you build it? Step 1. Stop waiting for permission. Too many people wait. Wait for someone to validate them. Wait for someone to say, you're ready. You're allowed. You're worthy. But mentally strong people, they don't wait. They move. They take risks. They speak up. They step forward into the unknown because they understand. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after. Step 2. Act before you feel ready. That's the secret. You don't become confident by standing still. You become confident by doing the very thing you're scared of doing. The more you face fear, the more you challenge yourself, the more you prove, I can handle this. And with every step forward, you build a stronger version of yourself. Step 3, stop chasing approval. The strongest people aren't the ones who need to be seen. They're the ones who know who they are even when no one's looking. Weak minds need applause. Strong minds need progress. The more you rely on others to feel confident, the weaker you become. Because the moment they stop clapping, you fall apart. But when your confidence comes from action, from experience, from truth, you don't need noise. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You just move. Confidence isn't about never feeling fear. It's about doing it anyway. It's about looking fear in the eye and saying, "You don't own me." And once you learn to move before you feel confident, to act, even when the doubt is loud, you build something no one can take from you. You build belief, real belief, in yourself. And once you have that, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. Your thoughts, they shape everything. Your actions, your decisions, your success, your failure, it all begins in the mind. But here's the problem. Most people never learn to control their thoughts. They allow negativity to take over. They allow fear to speak unchecked. They allow doubt to run wild. And because of that, they break. Not because they're weak, but because they never train the one thing that drives everything else, the mind. Let me say this clearly. You are not your thoughts. Just because fear enters your mind doesn't mean it belongs there. Just because a doubt appears doesn't mean it deserves your energy. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You don't have to follow every fear that shows up. You have a choice. But most people never realize that. They let their minds run on autopilot. They replay failures. They dwell on weakness. They feed the idea that they're not enough. And with every repetition, that belief gets stronger. That story becomes their identity. But mentally strong people, they fight back. They recognize the battle. They train for it. They master it. So how do you take back control? Step 1. Become aware. Start listening to your inner voice. Start noticing what you say to yourself. Start catching the patterns that keep you stuck. Every time you think, "I can't," pause. Replace it with, "I'm learning. I'll figure it out." Every time you hear, "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm growing. I'm getting stronger." Because the words you speak shape the life you live. Step 2, starve your doubts. Doubt grows when you feed it, when you give it your attention, when you give it your focus, but you don't have to. Shift your mind. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I succeed?" Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the solution. Instead of waiting for everything to be perfect, start where you are, with what you have, and take the next step. Step 3. Train your mindset daily. Mental strength isn't built in one day. It's built like a muscle, through repetition, through practice, through effort. Every book you read, every fear you face, every moment you challenge your old thoughts. You're building a better mind. Feed it with strength. Feed it with purpose. Feed it with truth. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the master of them. And the moment you take back control, the moment you stop letting doubt decide for you, you take back your life. Because when your mind is strong, nothing else can break you. Not fear, not failure, not even yourself. Life will never go exactly as planned. Things will break. People will leave. Plans will fall apart. And what you thought was certain will shift beneath your feet. That's not a maybe. That's a guarantee. And that's where most people fall. They resist change. They fight the reality. They complain, blame, and shut down because deep down, they fear what they can't control. But mentally strong people, they do the opposite. They adapt. They don't expect life to be smooth. They don't expect plans to unfold perfectly. They don't live in fantasy. They live in truth. And the truth is, nothing is fixed. Everything changes. And the stronger your mind, the quicker you learn to move with it. Adaptability is mental strength in action. It's the ability to say, this didn't go my way, but I'm not broken. It's the mindset that says, if plan A failed, there's always plan B. And if not, I'll make one. So how do you develop that kind of strength? Step 1. Accept reality. Stop expecting it to be easy. Stop wishing it were different. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Struggles will come. Delays will happen. Discomfort is part of the process. The faster you accept it, the faster you grow. Step 2. Focus on solutions. Weak minds obsess over the problem. They replay it, repeat it, relive it. Strong minds shift quickly. They ask, what now? What's the next best move? What can I control? And then they act. Step 3. Build resilience. Resilience is the muscle that keeps you moving even when things get heavy. It's built every time you keep going through the unknown, through failure, through doubt. Every setback is a test. Every disruption is an opportunity. Will you bend or will you break? Because here's the truth. No matter how strong you are, if you refuse to adapt, you'll be crushed. But if you stay flexible, if you stay open, if you stay focused, you'll survive anything. You'll overcome anything. You'll rise through anything. Mentally strong people don't need the world to cooperate. They just need the strength to keep adjusting, to keep learning, to keep evolving. And in the end, that's the mindset that separates those who break from those who rise. When the battle comes, and it will come, your feelings won't save you. Your opinion won't protect you. Your talent won't carry you. Your charisma won't keep you. Only one thing will stand: the Word of God. The enemy doesn't fear your passion. He fears your sword, and your sword is the Word. Ephesians 6 calls it the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. This isn't poetry. This is war language. Because the Word is not just a book. It's not just information. It's not a suggestion. It's a weapon, sharper than any two-edged sword, able to divide soul and spirit, able to pierce darkness, able to silence lies, able to break chains, and the enemy knows it. That's why his greatest attack is not always to tempt you, but to keep you away from the Word, because he knows a believer without the Word is a soldier without a weapon. You'll still have armor, you'll still be saved, but you'll have nothing in your hand when it's time to strike back. That's why so many stay defeated, because they're trying to fight back with empty hands. They know how to worship, they know how to serve, but when the lies come, they don't have a word to shut them down. But look at Jesus. When he was tempted in the wilderness, he didn't argue with Satan. He didn't explain himself. He didn't rely on emotion. He said 3 words: "It is written." And every time he said it, the enemy backed off. Jesus didn't say, "I feel like." He said, "It is written." Because the enemy doesn't respond to how you feel. He responds to what's written. The question is, do you know what's written? When anxiety hits, do you know the verse that silences it? When temptation knocks, do you know the sword that resists it? When fear speaks, do you have truth on your tongue to fight back? Because the Word can't work if you don't use it. It can't protect you if you never open it. It can't defend you if you don't declare it. You don't just read the Word, you wield it, you memorize it, you pray it, you speak it out loud into the atmosphere until darkness flees. You use it like a sword, strategic, sharp, relentless. When the enemy says God has forgotten you, you say, "It is written, he will never leave me nor forsake me." When the enemy says you're not strong enough, you say, "It is written, his power is made perfect in my weakness." When the enemy says you'll always be this way, you say, "It is written, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation." Because this isn't motivational speaking. This is spiritual warfare. And the word is your greatest weapon. So don't just listen to it on Sunday. Don't just glance at it when you feel guilty. Live in it. Breathe it. Carry it. Quote it. Believe it. Declare it. Let it fill your mind. Let it saturate your soul. Let it shape how you think, how you speak, how you respond. Because when the battle gets intense, you won't have time to flip through pages. You'll need it stored inside of you. David said, "I have hidden your word in my heart so that I might not sin against you." It's not enough to know where the word is. You have to hide it within you. So when darkness comes, you don't panic. You draw your sword. You don't retreat. You advance. You don't just endure, you overcome. Because in the battle, you will either be a victim of lies or a warrior of truth. And warriors know the word. Self-doubt. It's quiet. It's subtle. But it kills more dreams than failure ever could. It whispers, "You're not ready. You're not enough. You'll never make it." And most people, they listen. They treat doubt like a warning, like a reason to stop, like a sign that they shouldn't try. But that's a mistake. Because self-doubt is not truth. It's fear in disguise. And if you believe it, if you obey it, if you wait for it to go away, you will never move. You'll stay stuck. You'll stay small. You'll stay silent while your potential slips through your fingers. But mentally strong people, they know the truth. Doubt doesn't mean stop. Doubt means move. Move forward. Move fast. Move anyway. So how do you destroy self-doubt? Step 1, stop believing every thought you have. Your mind will lie to you. It will exaggerate your fears. It will minimize your strengths. It will try to protect you by keeping you small. But thoughts are not facts. Just because your mind says you can't doesn't mean it's true. You must learn to challenge it, to question it, to talk back. Step 2. Take action before you feel ready. That's the only way doubt dies. You can't think your way to confidence. You have to act your way through it. Speak before you feel brave. Step up before you feel prepared. Try before you feel perfect. Every time you move through fear, doubt loses its grip. Every time you take one step forward, you send a new message to your mind. I'm stronger than I thought. Step 3, collect evidence. Look at your past, at what you've already overcome, at what you've already survived. You've made it through pain. You've handled failure. You've endured what once felt impossible. That's proof. But doubt makes you forget. It makes you blind to everything you've conquered. So remind yourself, often, loudly, clearly. Self-doubt is a battle that never fully disappears, but every time you act in spite of it, every time you move anyway, you take back power, you weaken its voice, you reclaim your mind, you grow, and one day you'll look back and realize that voice in your head was never telling the truth. It was just noise, and you were always stronger than it. We live in a world that moves fast. Everyone wants results now. Success, now. Growth, now. And if it doesn't come quickly, they give up. They quit. They walk away. Not because they lack potential, but because they lack patience. But mentally strong people, they know the truth. Nothing great happens overnight. Strength takes time. Mastery takes time. Progress takes time. Patience is mental strength over time. It's the ability to keep showing up when nothing seems to be working, to keep moving even when the results are invisible. That's what separates those who succeed from those who almost did. So how do you build that kind of patience? Step 1. Shift your focus from speed to consistency. It's not about how fast you grow. It's about how long you can keep going. One step every day beats one giant leap followed by a crash. Slow progress is still progress. Step 2. Learn to love the process. If you only care about the result, you'll always be frustrated. Because success is not a destination, it's a transformation. Who you become along the way, the struggle, the setbacks, the small wins, that's where real growth happens. Fall in love with the grind. Fall in love with the work. Fall in love with the version of you that's being built in the dark. Step 3. Trust that effort compounds. Every rep matters. Every page matters. Every small action adds up. But most people quit just before it starts to work. They stop 1 inch before the breakthrough. They don't realize every effort is building momentum, and the ones who win aren't the most gifted. They're the ones who never stopped. The truth is simple. Anything worth having takes time, strength, confidence, resilience, success. They all demand patience. So ask yourself, can you wait? Can you endure? Can you keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening? Because if you can, you'll get what most people never will. You are not just the result of your strengths. You are also the result of your weaknesses. And if you let weak habits stay, they will grow, they will spread. They will slowly destroy your mental strength, not in one big crash, but little by little, quietly, silently, until you wake up wondering why you feel stuck, why you feel lost, why you feel weak. If you want to be mentally strong, you must remove what is making you mentally soft. So what are these weak habits? Number 1. Choosing comfort over growth. Weak minds avoid struggle, avoid challenge, avoid the unknown. They stay where it's safe, where it's easy, where it feels good. But strength is not found in comfort. It is forged in discomfort. It's built in pain. The more you chase comfort, the weaker you become. Mentally strong people do what's hard, even when they don't feel like it. Number 2. Letting emotions control your actions. Feelings are real, but they are not always right. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll feel scared. Some days you'll feel like giving up. But if you let feelings lead, you'll be unstable, inconsistent, stuck. Strong minds don't follow emotions, they follow discipline. Number 3. Making excuses instead of taking ownership. Weakness always has a story, always has someone to blame, always has a reason why it's okay to stay the same. But mentally strong people take full responsibility, even when life is unfair, even when things go wrong. They don't play the victim, they play the builder, the fighter, the one who moves anyway. Number 4. Wasting time on distractions. Weak minds chase pleasure. Scroll endlessly, escape into entertainment, run from hard work, but strong minds protect their time, guard their focus, prioritize what matters. They understand. Every wasted minute takes them further from their goal. So look at your life. Be honest. What weak habits are holding you back? What patterns are keeping you mentally soft? Cut them out. Now, without apology, without hesitation, because if you don't remove your weaknesses, they will remove your potential. Talent means nothing without effort. You can be the smartest person in the room, the most gifted, the most talented, but if you don't put in the work, you will lose to someone who does, because hard work beats talent. When talent refuses to work hard, every time, if you want to be mentally strong, you must develop an unbreakable work ethic. Weak minds want shortcuts. They want success without sacrifice. They want rewards without work. But mentally strong people, they know the truth. There is no easy way, no secret path, no magic formula. There is only hard work, discipline, persistence. Think about it. How many people dream of success but never show up? They talk, they plan, they hope, but when it's time to act, they disappear. They quit when it's boring. They stop when it's hard. They wait for motivation instead of building discipline. So how do you build a work ethic that makes you unstoppable? Step 1. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is a mood. It comes and goes. It's unreliable. If you only move when you feel like it, you will never be consistent. Mentally strong people show up every day, no matter what. Step 2, develop daily discipline. Success is not one big moment. It's small actions repeated relentlessly. Create a routine. Stick to it. Train yourself to act, even when it's uncomfortable. Step 3, push beyond your limits. Weak people stop when they're tired. Strong people keep going when they're tired. Every time you feel like quitting, push further, push harder, push through. That's how mental toughness is built, by going when others stop, by grinding when others fold. Hard work is the price of success, and the question is simple. Are you willing to pay it? Because if you are, there is nothing that can stop you. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, you will drift, you will stall, you will stay stuck. Because without discipline, your emotions will control you. Your distractions will own you. Your weaknesses will define you. But when you master discipline, everything changes. You take back your time. You take back your energy. You take back control. Most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they lack control. They know what they should do. They know what they need to change, but they don't do it. They let laziness speak louder. They let fear dictate the pace. They let procrastination steal their future. They wake up wishing, hoping, promising they'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. That is weakness. Mentally strong people live differently. They live by discipline, not by feelings. They don't wait until it's easy. They don't wait until they feel like it. They don't negotiate with distraction. They act, do it because it must be done. They do the work when it's boring, when it's heavy, when it's painful. They stay focused. They stay locked in. They stay committed to the mission. So how do you build that level of discipline? Step 1, train yourself to do what is hard. Weak minds chase ease. Strong minds chase growth. Push yourself every day. Choose the hard way on purpose. Because the more you train discipline, the stronger it gets. Step 2. Set non-negotiable standards. Decide the kind of person you want to become. Then act accordingly, no matter what. No skipping, no excuses, no easy outs, just action every single day. Step 3. Master the art of delayed gratification. Weak people chase now. Strong people wait for what matters most. They say no to comfort, no to distractions, no to instant pleasure. Because their future is worth more than the moment. Discipline is not punishment, it's freedom. Freedom from regret. freedom from weakness, freedom from being controlled by things beneath you. So the question is, will you take control or will you let life control you? Everything you need to become mentally strong, you already have it. The strength to endure, the discipline to act, the power to rise. It's not missing. It's not outside you. It's already there. But most people, they never reach it. Not because they're weak, not because they're broken, but because they refuse to change. They stay comfortable. They stay afraid. They stay ruled by emotion, by doubt, by habit, and they never become who they were meant to be. But you don't have to be one of them, because now you know the truth. You've heard the principles. You've seen the path. Mental strength is not a mystery. It's not a gift. It's a decision to train your mind, a decision to master your emotions, a decision to stop surrendering and start rising. You now understand your mind is your greatest weapon, but only if you take control. Pain is your greatest teacher, but only if you stop running. Discipline is your greatest power, but only if you use it. So what will you do? Will you hear this truth and let it fade? Will you nod in agreement but stay the same? Or will you use it? Use it to reshape your life. Use it to build what cannot be broken. Use it to become who you were always meant to be. Because the road to mental strength, it's long, it's painful, it's demanding. But that's exactly why most people never walk it. And that's exactly why the ones who do stand above the rest. So now you have a choice to stay the same or rise above, to remain average or become extraordinary, to stay weak or become mentally unbreakable.